Good afternoon, Spartans. Today we're going to learn how to use the pen tool in Adobe Illustrator. So first we're going to go ahead and go to my website, Vectoreasel, click on Lessons, and then where you see Using the Pen Tool, go ahead and click that. And as it says, we are going to learn how to use the pen tool. Eventually you're going to see this video link right here. Pen tool will help us trace around the apple to produce a path which will give us a silhouetted shape similar to the one you see below. Well, you don't see the shape below this photo, not yet, but you will after I create it in this video. So what does it say now? Download, copy the apple photo, open in AI. AI is Adobe Illustrator, and Control V, just like in Photoshop. Click to download. Right click, copy image. I'm going to go ahead and X that out. Go into Illustrator. I'm going to do a basic CMYK. And call this pen tool practice. I'm going to go ahead and do 5 inches by 5 inches. Default will show the screen 72 pixels per inch. Say OK. And Control V. Again, just like Photoshop. OK. I'm going to close up my shape tear off there. Now in layers, in the layers palette, you will see the drop down menu here, or the subpath rather. It says image. Okay. We're going to come over here to the tool palette and grab the pen. Now, the pen, as you might remember from Photoshop, will just allow you to trace objects. And so, what we want to do is start at the top of this picture. Makes sense to just start at the top. You could start anywhere you want actually, but I'm going to start at the top, on top of this stem here. And the first thing you want to do is just click to anchor. And right there you should see a light blue anchor. Light blue because it's in the first layer. You can see the layers palette, the sub-layer called path. That begins our path. And I'm going to click again a couple times because single clicks will give us straight lines. And already you can see the shape developing. Now, this tutorial will teach us how to create curves. Single clicks gives us line, straight segments. It's the curve that poses a problem, unless you know how to use it. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to create a curve. So the next anchor I'm going to make, I'm going to, instead of let go of the mouse click, I'm going to hold that mouse click and drag my mouse. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to click right about here, and I'm going to click, hold, and drag. Now you can see when I do that a couple of handles are produced. This is called a Bezier handle. This handle allows you to adjust the curvature, and what we want to do is try to match that curve, the same curve from that apple. Now I'm going to change the color just so we can see the color different from the background. And I chose this yellow color, fills that foreground. And you're probably wondering, why does it fill in that area? Well, the pen tool has no idea what you're tracing. For all it knows, you're tracing to make a shape, and it thinks maybe you're going to go up and around and close that shape. So again, it doesn't know what you're tracing. It wants to fill in a concave area. This is a concave area. You can just fill inside that area. But as you know, we're going to go ahead and continue around the edge of this apple. Eventually, it will know to fill in the other side so as to create that shape of that apple. Now, the next step is not to simply click. What we want to do is eliminate this forward Bezier handle. To do that, you need to hold down the Option key and you need to click this center anchor point. And that will help make this or cause this Bezier handle to disappear. So I'm holding down Option and I'm going to click that center point. And there you go. That Bezier handle has been eliminated, and it's going to allow our next curve to set up nicely. But remember, we want to hold down that mouse click. We don't want to do a single click like this. As you see, it's just a straight line. So I'm going to undo that and do it again. Now, next question is, where do we go? The rule of thumb here is to not exceed a 90-degree curve, like in a circle. So if this were 12 o'clock on a clock and we were going this direction, which is counterclockwise, 90 degrees would be 9 o'clock on the clock. So it's roughly about right there. So I'm going to hold down that click, drag the pen tool, and you see it takes a little practice. You just have to sort of go slowly and try to find that curvature to match that object. Okay, now it looks pretty good. I'm going to hold down Option and I'm going to click that center point to eliminate this forward handle. And goodbye to that handle. So that was done well. Now, the next thing we want to do, just to help us, because eventually this yellow is going to fill in and then we're not going to be able to see our object, our apple. So what we want to do is we're going to come over here to our transparency palette. It looks like these two circles overlapping each other. So pull that out, and you see the word opacity. We want to adjust that opacity. I usually bring it to about 50%. And there you can see the apple through there. Okay, next step, I'm going to come to right about this area right here. Now it doesn't look like it's curving, but it is. Now why don't I go 90 degrees? Well, another rule about making a curve is if it changes directions, regardless of how far you go, you should make an anchor point. What we don't want to do is just simply make anchor points, because the goal here is to make as few anchors as possible. Doing that is going to give you a nice clean edge. So I'm going to go right about here because I sense that direction is changing a little bit. I'm going to hold down Option, I'm going to click, remove that Bezier handle, and I'm going to come right down to about here, and I'm going to pull around and match that curve. Hold down Option and click. Now I'm going to pause my video and I'm going to complete this apple shape until I get to around the leaf, and I'll show you how to do that one. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and you can see I've gone around the apple. You can see where I've made those anchor points. But I'm going to go ahead and go on to the little more complex shape, this leaf. Now if you don't see any kind of a curvature, there's no reason to hold that mouse click to make that curve. Just do a straight line. Okay, so I'm going to again hold down that Option, click that center point, and then I'm going to go ahead and look for that curve. Now it looks like this is about less than 90 degrees. 90 degrees or less is the rule. And so I'm going to click, hold, and drag, Option, click. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. This looks like a straight line to me. Actually, no, it's a little bit of a curve. So I'm going to go right here, drag, Option, click. Now it's getting a little fuzzy, so you just have to sort of make your own guess. And because it's sort of a random, natural, organic shape, it's not going to matter a whole lot if you're not too accurate, because all we're doing is making a silhouetted shape. Okay. When it gets to more identifiable things that have fixed shapes, and of course you're going to want to be really accurate. The apple has somewhat of a fixed identity, so be as accurate as you can. And then again, this is even a curvature. If I do a straight line, I could fake it, but get in the habit of finding those curves. Click, hold, mouse click, and drag a little bit to make that curve. more accurate you can be, the better the effect. Now I didn't quite get on that anchor point, so you get that little thing, but you just undo and click. I left a little gap there, no big deal. It's so small you won't even notice it. Now I just added my last point. Do that again. Remember, look for that circle, click, and it should work for you. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up the opacity, show you what I got here. Looks pretty good. I'm going to deselect by simply holding down Control and clicking off the canvas. You can take the image visibility off. You can even delete that layer because I don't need it anymore. Looks pretty good. In this, since it's a path, obviously you can color it anything you want. So that concludes the tutorial on how to use a pen tool. Hope you have time to access this video if you still don't know how to understand how to do it. Thank you.